We launched this item about 2 weeks ago. I lose track. Could have been less, could have been more. It's called the Bionic Burner. What this does, rather than get on your hands and knees and pull weeds out of the cracks of the sidewalk, which are next to impossible, all right, the next time you have to light a barbecue, because you can use it for that as well, this is a powered element, basically burner, all right? It will burn not only the top of the weed, it gets down to the root. You do not have to put any chemicals on it. We read all these terrible things about chemicals, right? Make sure you wear a mask if you're using that stuff. You know, there's stuff on the TV about it. You don't have to use any chemicals. All you do is you use the Bionic Weed Burner. Now, we call it a weed burner because that's its initial intent, but we found out that you can also use it to start charcoal as well because it gets that hot. It burns the root down to nothing. We aired it. We were like, you know, let's see how this goes. And the best part about it is, I'm gonna take it like this. You don't have to get down on the ground. You essentially plug it in and you just walk around and burn the weeds. That's all you need to do. It even has wheels on it. It is way cool. And it's only $49. I thought this was gonna be like $100 or whatever. It's only $49. If you get an HSA credit card, it's only $9.95. It is on FlexPay. It flew out off the shelves. We went through almost all the inventory. We have a little bit left. And oh, look at my man, Lou is actually outside today. We have a good day to be able to kill some weeds, and there's my man. Hello, Lou Caputo.
Hey, good morning, guy. How you doing today?
Good, buddy. But Lou, we were so shocked because we weren't sure, you know, how many people will be attracted to burning weeds versus using chemicals. Turns out everybody loved it.
I know. Well, you know what? Because it's so easy to do. You never have to worry about, did I run out of chemicals? You don't have to get down on your hands and knees and try and pluck, you know, the weeds out yourself. It's just the easier way to do it. And we're all about easy over here, okay? The way you work this is real simple. It's a 2-speed fan that's on this. It's an impeller, actually. You press the button forward one time, there's speed 1, there's speed number 2. You get 2 different tips with it. This one here looks kind of like a horn, and I got the other one in my pocket. And we got another tool that's for crevices. So that's going to make that real easy. But, guy, the reason I'm outside is we're going to burn some weed. Okay, so take a look at this. We've got a bunch of weeds down here poking up through some lava rock I've got. Kelly, come on in here. Let's pick something. How about this guy right here? All right, I'm going to put it down on top of it. Now, I'm using the wheels, and I'm just letting it rest on top of the cone right there. Now, it's going to take a couple seconds for this to heat up, but notice, here's both my hands. I don't have to hold this. I just set it on top of the weed. Guy, I could go have a cup of coffee right now. I can make a phone call. I can do anything I want. But what's going on right now is burning that weed. Essentially, it's like a heat gun mounted on wheels with this really nice tip on it. I can actually smell that burning right now.
Yeah.
Let me pull this away. And there's the weed, guy. Do you see what happened to that?
Yeah, it curls up. Hey, Lou. And people need to understand, you're not lighting the weed on fire, okay? What you're doing, you're burning this, you're burning it and you're killing it. It doesn't take a long time. Once that heat is on there for maybe 20 or 30 seconds, you have pretty much already killed it, all right? You can roast it if you want to, but you don't need to because I've used this. And literally, it's like you just weed after weed after weed, especially those pesky ones, Lou. You know the ones that get in the cracks?
Yeah. Yeah, the ones on your pavers that come out. I've actually got some of those in the back, but the sun's bad back there right now, so we're not shooting there. But the nice thing about this, too, is, like, I live on the water, so I don't want to put any chemicals down on my pavers, on my grass, or any place like that. So you can actually use this and do spot treatments. By the way, like what you were saying before, you can start your charcoal fires with this. You can actually strip paint with it as well as another feature. So I'm not going to do that because we just got our house painted, so I'm not doing that. Let's do another weed, though. We got a really good one right here. This is a nice little tall one. You see that guy right there? This one, Kel. Right there. My wife, Kelly, working the cameras today. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to put this on top of it. And to what you were saying just a second ago, Guy, yeah, I'm not really burning it with fire. What this is doing is just hitting it with hot air, and it's just drying it out. It absolutely takes all of the moisture out of the plant, and it kills it so that, you know, it's not going to come back. And I love that because you can't get down to the root sometimes. You don't have to with this. So this has been on here for like 5-10 seconds. Let's take a look and see where we're at with that guy. Look at that guy. That was the root that we were doing just a minute ago, the weed, and that's completely gone. And the nice thing about this, too, is I can fold these wheels up. All I've got to do is there's a knob on the side right here. I just give that knob a twist, and then we just push that down, and that's your easy storage right there. So those will fit just about anywhere. So if space a problem for you, you don't need to worry about it with your burner. Easy.
What a great item. You know, I think about it and it's like, this is, you know what this reminds me of? It's like when I got my pole saw. You buy it and you think, okay, you know, I'll use it 5 or 6 times a year, maybe that. This is the same kind of item. I use that pole saw all the time, right? I use it instead of every other kind of clipper. I'm just like, heck, I'll get the pole saw. This is the exact same thing. You're gonna find that this is not only an incredible way to get rid of those really pesky weeds, but it's very therapeutic as well, Lou, because you got your cup of coffee in one hand, you're walking around the driveway, you're killing weeds, you don't have to spray any of the chemicals. And by the way, you've tried to get those weeds out of pavers, Lou. You literally have to use a butter knife or a chisel to get them out of there, normally.
Yeah. And you don't want to use a pressure washer because you knock out all the sand that's in there, because I've done that in the past by mistake as well. Let's do another one down here, guy. This is a good one too, because I've got a nice big weed right here, and this one's been bugging me a lot, okay? Right there. See this guy right here? Now look, I want everybody to see that. Look, it's nice, it's healthy. That's a big old weed right there. Now watch this. I'm going to put the cone right over it. I'm just going to let it sit there. And again, if you want easy, this is easy. No chemicals, nothing you ever have to buy again to replace or replenish. It's just going to sit on top of that weed, and it's literally using hot air to dry it out, to burn it right down to the root. So here we've been, I don't know, what are we on here, like 5-10 seconds right now?
Yeah.
Let's take a look and see where we're at with that guy. No, he's still going. Got to give him a little bit more time.
Yep. Well, that's a bigger one. Well, that's the key. I mean, you're not, you know, if you want to pull them out quickly, you're going to leave the root in there. All right. You know, it's worth a little extra effort to do that. And I can't emphasize enough, you're not using toxic chemicals. And that is my biggest worry, you know, and it's like, I for years I've been pulling them because I read all the stuff about different pesticides or you know, insecticides, everything across the board, whether it's in my house or outside in my garden, and I'm trying to do things in a more natural way. You know, this almost reminds me of like, you know, steam cleaning, right? You're not using chemicals to get clean. You're just using the power of heat, right? And remember, you can also use this, Lou, I love the fact that you could also use this as a charcoal starter as well.
Yeah, you totally can, because it does push out that hot air, and it does get hot enough to do that. So if you've got it in there with your charcoal, you know, I mean, the other thing too is it's, you know, you got to have air to get a fire going. So this is a really great way to give you one of the 3 things you need for a fire there. Put it in there and burn it. And the other thing is, we've talked about it a little bit, is you can actually use this to strip paint, because essentially at the end of the day, it's a heat gun. So if I'm doing a deck, this is going to be much easier for me just to roll this along, guy, just like this.
Yeah.
If I'm stripping down a deck, than having to, you know, get down on my hands and knees with a regular heat gun. I mean, it's actually kind of ingenious the way that they did this. You know, but for me, I just come out here every couple of days, you know, maybe once a week, burn some weeds. It's easy to do. I'm not breaking the
I want to drive to your house and I want to see you out front killing weeds, just like that. I'll be like, look, there is Lou with another one of his super cool products, just taking it easy. You know, the one thing that you're not doing there, Lou, you're not sweating. That's for sure. You are taking, but seriously, weeding. When I was a kid, Lou, first job I got was for a landscaper. I was 14 years old, and you know, I got my little worker's permit when you're 14, and I went to this place called Geiger's Landscaping. I'll never forget it. And I was hired as just a helper, you know, for whatever it was, $3.10 an hour. I don't even remember what it was back then. And all I did every Saturday morning was weed. I literally, you know, you have a 14-year-old kid, all my buddies are going to the beach, it's going, I'm like, I need money, I got a job. I went down, all I did was pull weeds. And I will tell you, the worst job I've ever had probably in my life, maybe I've had one or two other ones that were weird, but the worst job, because there's nothing like, you know, the middle of summer, getting up, you're down in like a mulchy, wet area, and you're pulling weeds out one at a time. You're not gonna have to do that. All right, look at Lou. Does Lou look like he's straining? No. Lou is relaxed. He could have a cup of coffee in his hand. You know, he's got Kelly helping him out there with the camera. And look at the weeds you're killing. Look at them all dried out.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this. Like, I just put this on top of another one. And again, I'm not sweating. I'm not straining. I don't have to worry about, did I remember to buy weed killer? You know, and I've got 2 dogs. You've seen them. I don't want them to be around any kind of chemicals at all. So we try to do everything naturally when we're doing it outside. This is the easy way to do it, and it's the natural way to do it. Now, that's been sitting on there. I like to let them go for 5 or 10 seconds. Let that hot air do it, especially since this has been off. But look at that weed right there. You can see this is burned all through here. That thing is desiccated. It is dead. I'll do another one. And you just let it sit there, guy. And that's the beauty of this. No tricks, nothing you got to do, no sweating, no bending over, no pulling out. I'm bending over to point at them, but honestly, I could just stand here. I'm actually leaning on this right now. It's very comfortable to do. So this weed's been under there for a couple seconds. Let's take a look at that guy. Look at this one. Guy, look at that. That's charred. That's just gone.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
And what's nice too is that since you've already dehydrated them, they will dissipate and fall apart very, very quickly. So you don't have to worry about that. You know, when you use weed killer, it takes like a week to 2 weeks for those things to finally dry out and burn out, right? I mean, they may be dead, but then they just lay there. I know, I've used weed killer, I've used grass killer. It takes 3 or 4 days for the grass to die, and then you still can't pull it out because it's got to go all the way through down. The dehydration and the burning is a better process, easy. Try this out. You got all of October, November, December, January to be able to try it out. I know it's a little late in the season for many of you, but get it now while it's $49.95. Lock it in and enjoy it. 769-116 is the item number there. All right, is that it for Lou? Oh, Lou's got some other great, oh, hey Lou, Lou does the host.